Hello, everyone. A very warm good morning to one and all. Dear students, welcome back to our English classes. And today we are going to deal with chapter number 7 Packing from our first book, Beehive. And it is written by English writer Jerome K. Jerome. So, first of all, I would love to tell you about the author. His lifespan was from 1859 to 1927. Jerome K. Jerome was born on 2nd May 1859 in Cardmore, United Kingdom. He was an English writer and humorist, and he is best known for his comic travelogue Three Men in a Boat. And other important works of the author are Three Men on the Bimmel and Told After Supper. These are also the notable works of the writer Jerome K. Jerome. Okay, so dear student, and as the title of the chapter is Packing, so I hope that everybody knows the meaning of the word packing. Okay, whenever we want to go for a trip or a tour, we have to do packing. Is it na? And we all have to do packing for that trip or tour. Okay, so in this chapter, actually, so these are the key points of the story. And in this chapter, packing, we will discuss about the art of packing. Okay, and before dealing with the summary of the chapter, I would like to make you familiar with the characters of this story. Okay, actually, in this story, there are four characters. Okay, first one is the writer, and he's the narrator of the story because he himself is telling the story here. So that's why he's narrator, and two of his friends, Harris and George. And fourth one is Montmorency, and he was a dog. Okay, and Harris and George both are the close friend of the narrator Jerome K. Jerome. Okay, now, and I would like to tell a brief summary of the chapter so that you can get the idea of the chapter or the story. You can be familiar with the story. Actually, in this story, there are three friends. There were three friends, Jerome K. Jerome, the writer, Harris, and George. So one day they decided to go on a holiday. And before going there, they had to pack the necessary things for the trip or this tour. And the narrator Jerome, in the starting of the story, and he was proud of his packing. So uh, he suggested his friends to pack himself, and his friends also agreed over the idea. So both the friends, George and Harris, became relaxed, and the narrator started packing. Actually, the narrator did not want to pack the things himself. On the other hand, he wanted to make George and Harris pack the things, and he wanted to supervise, or he wanted to boss the job. But as he offered to pack himself, so they also agreed, and the narrator started packing the things. And after some time, he finished it. As he finished, his friend Harris asked the narrator. He asked the narrator if he had put the boots in the bag. The narrator searched and found that he had forgotten. So he opened the bag, and then he put the boots and packed the bag. And as he was going to close his bag, a horrible idea came to his mind, that had he packed his toothbrush. So he turned everything, and then he found toothbrushes of George and Harris more than 18 times, but could not find out his toothbrush. He put the things back one by one in the bag, and then he found it inside a boot and packed the things once more. After he finished packing, Jaws asked if the soap was in, and getting irritated, the narrator said that he didn't care about soap, whether it was in bag or not. So again, he had to open the bag as he had packed his spectacles in it. Then he packed his spectacles in the bag. The bag finally got finished at 10:05 p.m. And this way the narrator packed the things on his own behalf, and after that hampers were left to pack. And then George and Harris offered to pack the things. Before starting the packing by George and Harris, the narrator created a lot of mess, and he had to pack and unpack the bag time and again. So George and Harris started packing the hampers, and they started their chore at a great ease. And according to the narrator, they are the worst packer in the world. And the narrator could see the piles of plates and cups and kettles and bottles and jars and pies and stoves and cakes and tomatoes, etc. And he felt that the thing would soon become exciting, because the narrator was expecting some flaw or some fault on the part of George and Harris. The narrator thinking was right. As they started breaking the cup, Harris packed the strawberry jam on top of a tomato and squeezed it. George stepped on the butter. The narrator came over and quietly sat on the edge of the table, which irritated them, as the narrator felt. It made them nervous and excited. They were not able to find what they wanted. They packed the pies at the bottom and squeezed them by putting heavy things over them. So George and Harris tried to pack the things in a good way, but they were not able to pack the things properly. And they packed pies or soft things at the bottom and heavy things over the top. And this created great mess. And then George and Harris, they upset everything in that room. George got the butter off his slipper and tried to put it in kettle, but it would not go in, and what was in would not come out. So at last they dragged it out all and put it down the chair. Harris sat on it and butter stuck to him. Both started searching the whole room but were not able to find. Lastly, George got round at the back of Harris and saw it, and then they got it off and packed it in the teapot. Then Montmorency. Montmorency, a pet dog, had an ambition in his life to get in the way and get scolded. He felt that his day was not being wasted if he had made people mad and had things thrown at his head. His highest aim was to get somebody to stumble over him. It means every time he wanted to get to be cursed. He wanted that people should curse him. And he came and sat down on things, and then he put his leg into the gem, and he worried the teaspoons also there in that room, and then he pretended that the lemons were rats and got into the hamper and killed three of them before Harris could land him with the frying pan. Harris said it was the narrator who encouraged the dog to do all these things. So this way the narrator also created mess, and after that George and Harris, they also created mess, including butter episode or all other things. So this way the packing was done at 12:50. So Harris said that he hoped nothing would be found broken, and all the three friends, George, Harris, including the narrator, they felt tired and they wanted to go to sleep. George asked when he should wake them. So after little argument, they decided to wake up at 6:30. So this way we came to know about the mess created by different people while they were packing the things. So I hope that you all will get the idea of the chapter. Now and I hope that you all will read this chapter and try to prepare a brief summary, and you will also prepare write down two character sketches. Okay, character sketch of Montmorency and character sketch of the narrator Jerome K. Jerome. Thank you. Have a nice day.